That's it.
12.
Ha!
We can
There
hear
we
you.
go. No, I had my microphone muted on the other thing. On my broadcaster. Alright, so let's just do that all again. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group B, Legends Lost, Episode 12. And we are missing Jordan playing Hausick and JD playing Tristan tonight. And picking up a new player you will get to meet later. So everybody else was here last session, so I'm going to do a recap. If you guys give me 4 minutes of your time, we will be jumping into this. So, last session, actually I might not even need 4 minutes. Last session kicked off with you guys tracking a band of gnolls. Gnolls had been scouting closer to the town of Dixel, and you guys found particularly 5 gnolls that were in a scouting party of outriders for Effie to feed on. They noticed you first and engaged you, and the party responded in tow with fury and combat. You guys emerged victorious and saw 2 strange things about the gnolls. Particularly one, the gnolls were riding on wargs, and the 2 species shouldn't be able to communicate with somebody, indicating somebody is organizing them. And then 2, their leader had runes spread across his body that was giving him access to some pretty spooky powers. From there, you guys let Effie feed on 2 of the gnolls. She told you guys that she would be good for at least a week, possibly 2 weeks, and that you don't have to worry about her anymore. Through conversation, you guys asked Tristan to scry on Jessica, and he did so. You guys, the whole party witnessed Jessica. She was in some Heimsdale town, and Olivia allowed you guys to see her. People were attacking her because she was a Terrai, and she was trying to defend herself. And there were piles and piles of bodies stacking around her, and the more people she killed, the more people Olivia fetched to basically confront her. Neither one of them could communicate with you guys. Only Olivia was aware that you were watching. You guys watched this scene for about 10 minutes and saw, Jessica was suffering the whole time. Enraged, Dila left to go find Jessica for you guys, and Effie went to protect her and told you guys, if you don't hear from them, meet up in Swordhaven in 2 weeks. The Moonlight Company went to rendezvous with their other members, and the party split between the 2. Decided to follow Dila and Effie and search the northern towns, the towns north of the forest, to see if they could possibly find out which one of these was where Jessica and Olivia were. And that was pretty much the whole session. I might have missed a minor thing or 2, but I'll remember when it becomes relevant.
Well, you should bring up the awesome bet.
Oh, yeah. The Moonlight Company, the reason why the Moonlight Company left you guys was they said your job was complete, and you could just pay what you owed them to their holdings in any of the Ruby Vaults. And Dralos said double or nothing, killing Olivia. And
I didn't even propose killing Olivia. He proposed killing Olivia. I just said double or nothing. And he's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and kill Olivia, and if so, you'll pay us the full amount that you make off of this.
Yes, and as is becoming very apparent, Rahiman should not be allowed to make decisions when Tessia is not around. And And he took the bet and ran off to grab his companions. Oh, you guys headed off down the road. And let me turn on music. I always hate starting sessions like without it because it's a drab. We'll go with adventure. There we go. Anyways, you guys headed off down the road towards Dila and Effie, catching up with them. It is the afternoon of the 29th. They did get a head start on you, but they are, not traveling with, due haste, so you guys are able to catch up with them. You find them walking on the road. The whole party, comes sprinting behind them.
Cool. I guess we're going to continue in that direction with them. The dealer seems to have a idea of which one she's going to.
Stump, 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 stump. Run, run.
Everybody's okay with that plan?
Well, do they have a plan?
Roll me an insight check.
I'm good at these.
DC 9.
Oh,
it is not very hard.
Yay! It is.
All right.
That was Eric.
Both Draelos and Roman catching up with them. You're going to obviously, Effie was pretty flustered when Dila walked off. Obviously, you guys both know Dila walked into a trap trying to help a kid before. You guys are also going to know when you guys first left the town, heading deeper into Jan Baharin, the forest you're in, Dila started walking in definitely the wrong direction. She does not seem like the type to attack situations with a plan.
I want to ask her, would she rather have us be the deciders, like which direction, and join us rather than us join her?
Dila is going to shake her head and say, No. I know I've seen that town. I just have to think if it was this 100 years or a couple 100 years ago. I do hope it's still there.
Oh. It's still there. We just saw it.
Effie is going to roll her eyes and say she hopes she's thinking of the right one.
Papa Drake always said that sailing without a compass was a good way to end up at the bottom of the ocean. I think we need a plan.
I think we need to use Tristan with the mirror and scry to have a slightly better idea. Let's think creatively on what might give us a clue which direction we should go.
I think Tristan already used his last charge.
Did he?
Tristan has one charge left for today.
Does anybody know where the closest town is?
Did we get a map? I thought we looked for a map when we were with Raheem in his town.
The closest town is behind you guys, and on the edge of Jan Baharin, the one you came from.
So I guess the closest Dalian town.
On the right side, is that the left or the up direction?
The blue square or the blue circle.
Yeah.
Say that one more time for me, Rob.
We're in the blue circle right now, right?
Yeah, you're on the edge of it. You're in the blue circle. You guys traveled about a mile into the forest. The forest itself is just over 100 miles in diameter. You guys, she is not traveling deeper into the forest. She is traveling northwards, out of the forest.
I'm sure somebody will know of a slaughter in a village. We'll find where they're at before too long, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Can we use that hawk that is in our party at all?
That
you
is
mean the
back in
Falcon?
Seedale.
Damn it.
Come on, to get rid of.
Back any minute now. Yeah, I mean, a town getting attacked isn't going to be small news, and from what we saw, Olivia probably left somebody alive, because her whole goal seems to be to inspire threat.
I'm almost at the point we should like roll. I have spectacular rolling dice and like just doing like some left or right, split the dice, and hopefully have some luck. Because I don't think we should just go aimlessly.
Yeah, if there's something you feel like Dralos can contribute, to your guys' direction. Dila and Effie are working off of Dila's survival check. Pretending which way is north and, heading in that direction. For Roman...
I have a compass.
I was going to say, for Roman with a compass, she's right on this one.
Huh.
She
Well,
did discern
damn.
north this time.
Does anyone have a good idea? Because I'm currently just following the group, so to speak.
I mean, let's think about this. Olivia and Jessica would have been traveling for, what, a day or two now? So, like, what
Approximately
town?
40.
Are you
Yeah, where
saying
did
this in character or as a player?
Oh, in character. Saying, well, it's been, how long has it been? Roughly a day?
4
Yeah,
days.
4 days?
Dila is going to shake her head and say, no, she's capable of teleporting. I'm sure of it.
Oh, man.
How do you follow somebody that teleports?
Follow the bodies.
Yeah,
Robert is eating. That's
Dila's
it,
gonna
right.
nod and say she has to have an agenda.
That's what I'm thinking. We need to get into Heimsdale. Find a town, any town.
Or
I agree.
or find news of a town being attacked, slaughtered by a Herai.
We'll go town to town. We'll hear something eventually.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Dila,
make a beeline towards the closest town.
yeah, Dila nods at all of you guys and says very ecstatically, "Yes, that's a great idea. You should each go and pursue it. Yes."
I'd like to do an insight check. She's trying to get rid of me.
You can roll an insight check.
I'm gonna say I
you
think it'd be safest if we stay
you
together.
her too. Yes.
Two.
Is she not very wise? I'm concerned.
She doesn't have a good poker face.
Dila is nodding, has already walked away from you guys, and it's nodding eagerly, like for you to leave at the first suggestion. And like the more when Alo suggests staying together, she's going to
Scowl.
shake her. Yeah, she's going to shake her head and say, "No, we can be far more effective and cover more land if we split up. You guys take the town. It's probably safer, and I definitely believe that. Excuse me. I definitely believe that the town I'm thinking of is in this direction." And she points along the path she's walking.
I'm just going to follow Hausik wherever he decides to go, because I haven't died, and I've used him effectively. So, like, I just kind of, I think I survive when I'm around Hausik. Give or
What
take.
makes you think that? I mean, you haven't died while being with Hausik. Hausik hasn't exactly helped your survival much.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'd
the
say
only
if
good me shields for
anything,
He-Man.
yeah, he's hindered it. There are moments when you've been knocked down because of Halsey. But
Get knocked down.
Effie, Dila is going to fail all of your guys' passive insight a second time, and it still feels like she's holding something back from you.
Look, if we're gonna be working together, I'm going to need you to drop the 1,000-year-old sorceress routine and talk to me like a person.
Considering the fact that you were
Roll me a
captured
persuasion
because you
check.
were outnumbered. Oh,
Oh,
no, you
I'm not curious.
Yeah, you can continue, Ramon, for Urkus. That will give him advantage. That's the help action.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
I was gonna say, you
I'll
already
roll
rolled,
that
but
again.
I was gonna say, like, considering the fact that you were captured not too long ago, and we did go and rescue you, and Effie has just eaten, so we don't really want her to use up too much energy. It's probably better if we go. Also, she's our friend.
Oh, so if
This
I
is
got the help action
personal.
on that persuasion attempt, it is a 17.
yeah. So Dila is going to exhale and say, in regards to tracking her, we can't chase somebody who can teleport, but I theorize that she has an agenda that she needs me captured for, and she hasn't given up on that.
And Jessica is going. Jessica is on a rampage right now, going to the closest city together will give us a better idea of what we should do. Stay together right now.
Because as stated, last time you did this alone,
You were kidnapped.
and
Back then,
yeah,
had
you
your
were there
spell
that night. So maybe we can avoid.
She's going to continue and say scrying magic is not or divination magic's not something that's beyond her. I believe she might reveal herself if I am alone.
All the
Yes.
more reason for us not to leave you alone. Like, if the goal is for her to capture you, we should not leave you alone, even as bait.
And Dila's going to, she's going to get a little bit, like, red-faced at that and anger, and, say, and damn it, if I don't, she's going to keep dangling that child in front of us like a carrot on the stick. I won't let her be used in my place.
We care about her more than you even know. So, I'm new to the party, but I still want to find my friend.
I like the bait idea, honestly. If Olivia wants Dila, Dila wants Olivia, it's easier to have her come to us than try to chase down somebody teleporting all over the place.
I think we should gather information before we try and do any half-assed plan of almost sacrificing the strongest wizard we know.
Also, you don't have a spell book. You're not combat ready.
Yeah, what are you going to do when she shows up?
She is... she's... Her chest is gonna, like, deflate a little bit. Like, she's kind of swollen with anger now. And it's gonna deflate a little bit, and she's gonna say, "Fight her."
That's great.
Cool. I'm
I'll say
totally
to
down
her-
for fighting. It's
I'll mention that
kind of
I'm-
my thing. But
I
you're
was
not
mentioning- Go ahead.
equipped.
I was gonna say I'll mention I'm a wizard, and she can copy some of my spells and make her own.
It still requires a plan. Don't run off, Dila. Like, we should be together. Like, we should travel together and plan this. Don't just run off on your own and die. We went through a lot of trouble saving you.
Well, more like get captured.
Um,
Don't get captured.
We don't have another Hilpelry. Don't forget that we sacrificed Hilpelry for you.
We could sacrifice Urkus.
Fuck you, Roman.
Dila's gonna smile at your guys' laughing and say, "Alright, let's find her." I believe the best thing to do then is to, as long as we're together, just investigate where she has been.
And let's multitask. Let's travel and copy the spells at the same time. Like, let's get you battle ready while we get some more information. Does that sound okay?
She is going to nod at that and just say, "I won't need a spell book as soon as I can. As soon as I can contact the Silver Sigil, I'll be fine."
Where can we contact them at?
She's gonna look around and shrug, and Effie is going to add. They have eyes everywhere. And they'll at some point look in on us.
You see, I might have an idea, Dila. I want to ask a favor from you, though. We came across a scroll of teleportation a while back, and it's a little beyond my capabilities at the moment. I don't want to use the scroll just one time and lose it, but if you could help me copy it into my book, you can use my book to cast it, and we can go wherever you want, and come right back here, or anywhere you want to go, at any time. It's going to take maybe half a day to copy it, but I think it'll be worth the time.
Dila is going to nod and say, can I see the scroll?
Sure, go ahead. I'll give it to her out of my backpack.
Alright, she takes it and teleports. No, I'm kidding.
I knew it.
She
Just the way you said that at the beginning, I was like, "Oh no, she's about to go teleport."
She takes it. She pulls off her mask. It's been Olivia the whole time, and then she teleports.
No!
It's like, ha! What have I even been doing these last 2 sessions?
I cast murder.
Yeah, she's going to inspect it and say, "This is simple enough magic." And she's going to look to the party. How many of there are you guys here? There's Dralos, Hauzik, Tristan, Roman, Urkus, Alo, and I think
Effie Dila.
Yeah,
I believe there's
Effie.
8 of us.
Yeah, Effie Dila.
How many is that?
That's 8
Yeah, I already
people.
said Isaac. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 8 people.
That's perfect.
Yeah, she's going to look and say, I could teleport us all to the university.
We can't forget Tricyca.
We can bring 9 people total.
Yeah, and she's gonna nod and say, okay, we find your friend, and then we leave.
And leave for He-Man and the Moonlight Company, including my sister.
Raymond
just
shows
it's cool.
back up at, the university a month later with Olivia's head, like, where's that motherfucker Tralos? He owes me money. Alright.
I'll die laughing. I'll never pay him.
double or nothing. With double or nothing, Raheem don't take. But it's double.
It's doubling down on double.
At that point, though, what are you doubling on?
It's literally 400% of 0.
We were talking about that before the session. I didn't know that it was free. I made the bet just completely BSing.
All right. So, you guys continue on the path. You continue on the path. I'm assuming following Dila's direction.
I mean, she confirmed that it was actually north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's follow her.
You guys travel until you hit the edge of the forest. It is nightfall by that point. Oh god, I gotta open up my Jan Bahara notes. It's nightfall by that point, and I am going to see what giant is in charge of this region, and if you guys are harassed.
In character, I want to put everyone on high guard that as the sun goes down, that we're likely to encounter some wargs and what are they called?
Oh, good. More food for Effie.
Is it not already? Because we went and fought like first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
We've been traveling for a while.
Yeah, you did fight in the morning. However, you spend most of the day traveling. As the Heimsdale border towns, just in general, this area is this forest is being disputed by different clans in service to giants, and that's not something the Heimsdale military wants to get involved with, or the Darken Vale. So they just give this place like a wide berth. It's Rahiman also gives it a wide berth. Oh, this is great.
If Rahiman gives it a wide berth, we should be extra careful. Because that dude gives no fucks.
Well, he doesn't like his family. He told you guys that already.
I mean, who likes their family?
I like my sister.
Like my dad.
I mean, in character,
I
I
do
like my sister in the game. Like, heavily motivated by my sister.
I'm heavily motivated by my dad.
I like this teleport scroll.
Oh, teleport scroll.
I like.
I like
Father I never had.
I like turtles.
I like chocolate milk.
Alright, so as we're making camp and stuff, I want to do a nature check in the area around and kind of see what the layout is, or what's the best check to...
I will help you with that.
Either survival or nature.
I have a little better survival, I think.
Hi, Brandon. For our next destination, how far is that roughly? Just out of character.
Hey.
Oh, nat 20. I hope we have some advantage here.
You don't know. Rahiman told you that looks like a border town, somewhere around the forest that he's seen before when you guys scryed on Jessica. Dila has not been in this region for hundreds of years. So if it is a new town, she's going to some place that could have possibly been destroyed. If it is, an older town, she might be leading you guys in the right direction.
Are we like a couple hours away from the town, or maybe days?
You got, from what Rahiman told you, it could be anywhere between, like hours and like a day or 2 days.
Okay.
Because, you guys coming out where you did, 45 miles like south of the forest, 30 miles south of the forest, you could see it, but it still took you like 2 days travel to get to the Dixel town.
What does my incredible survival check pull out? Because I don't want to forget about that nat 20.
All right. So, as you are setting up camp, you are going to just be like looking around this area, scouting, expecting, more gnolls to come here. However, you are going to what you are going to find leading off the path. And this area, it seems that it has been covered up. Druids some magic user of sorts has like grown brush and other things that should not be here. Kind of just as the forest thins, they've just recovered this land. In that area, just going and checking it out, you're going to see this new growth is covering up what appears to be a migration of hundreds of people or hundreds of things.
Alright, I want to get everyone involved in this. I'm going to tell them as I'm looking at stuff.
With your survival check, you can tell these things are led by something gigantic. They all walk upright. There are they have each set is like 2 footprints, and all of these are like trampling over the other. And there's one last thing I need to look at, because while they walk upright, the footprints themselves are not human-esque.
As I pointed out to people, I want to say that there's someone pulling strings with the wargs and the gnolls. So I think this is a bigger issue than just wargs and gnolls. I think we have some big, scary things joining the forces.
Are these tracks like? Are we walking parallel to them, or are they like perpendicular to us? Or
You guys are walking north. These tracks lead west.
okay,
How
Yes.
fresh?
From what Dralos can tell, maybe a week old.
And can I tell if they're moving with extra haste, or if it's just kind of making a migration?
I don't think you'd be able to discern the speed at which they were traveling.
Okay.
and they're just all going west, so not going back and forth.
Yeah, this is, this is not stuff. Whoever did this covered up. You know, you're looking between, like, brushes and, flowers and, like, fields of not wheat, but that other stuff that becomes wheat if you treat it right. I forgot what it's called.
Like tall grass.
Yeah.
But it's like a one-way path, right? They're not
Yeah,
going...
but
okay.
it's one way from everything you guys can see.
I think we should stay on alert, but if it's a week old, let's camp here. It seems there hasn't been a lot of traffic except for that week old tracks.
You want to camp right here?
Well, at least we know what's going on around here. If we have to go somewhere else, we might be opening ourselves up to something completely different. I don't know if Draelus would actually be that smart. He'd probably just kind of say, like, hey guys, there's something really big. Maybe it's connected to something else. And then shut up and let everyone else figure things out.
Well, what kind of tracks were they?
I don't know.
You said big and upright, like gigantic, right?
Yeah, and I would
Yeah.
point them out.
So,
Well, the human mentioned giants being in the area and causing his people some trouble. I vote.
But they aren't humanoid. That I do know that.
well,
Okay.
there are
Okay,
two
well-
sets of tracks. So there are a bunch of tiny tracks. Those tiny ones are, they look like a very, elongated. Hold on, actually, I can draw this out for you because we've got drawing tools. So they look like a very elongated. They look like a very elongated foot. Those are the smaller ones. The larger ones look like boot prints. You can't tell like what is making those. Whatever the larger one is made of, it's it's wearing boots, whereas the other ones are shoeless. But the size difference is. I don't even have the space to draw it.
So the ones that have like the kind of claw-like non-humanoid,
Yeah.
would I recognize that being similar to like werewolfy things? Null kind of looking things, or do they look different?
Actually, I've not compared that. No, they're different.
Okay.
Specifically, you are going to know when you guys were fighting the gnolls. The way a gnoll's footprint, just from how they stand, looks like
More like a dog.
yeah,
Like actually the pad.
because they stand down on that foot and it's hunched up in the air.
Alright, that's good to know.
Whatever
We're working with
this is,
something different
it's
here.
it's not human. It's not Knoll.
I'm trying to say, I vote we should maybe camp 100, 200 yards north of this trail. I don't want to camp on something's trail, but if y'all want to, then I'm not
There's already been
opposed.
traffic there. We don't want to just invite disaster. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be safe.
Alright, let's do that.
All right, so you guys head north from this trail, and you are going to just leaving the forest, the forest has been thinning, and there's just been a few trees here and there as the forest gets thinner. You can see more of the plains and fields in front of you. And just kind of the biome is going to shift as the dirt gets a little drier and more crusted, I guess. On the very edge of this tower, you guys are the very edge of this forest before you're completely within the hills of the plains. You guys are going to come across a broken down stone tower, and it is I can actually describe it. The tower itself is a cylinder overlooking the forest, and there's a smaller temple side attached to this. And I don't like that picture. I don't like how that looks. That's not a good representation. Anyways, there is kind of an open temple attached to this. Easiest way to think about it, kind of like a Stonehenge area with a paved center in the middle of it. The tower itself is broken down and rubbled. However, as you guys walk towards it, Dila is going to point with excitement and say, I remember this place. We fought here during the kayak wars.
How far are we from this tower?
This tower kind of comes up on you. It's not something you see immediately. It's kind of like a watchtower, but the forest has grown out of control, and normally, while it would be looking down onto the forest has grown all the way up to this point, to where, some of the vines and the smaller trees are starting to reach to a point where they could take this in a couple, maybe a year or two. This would be starting to be consumed by
Vegetation.
Yes, vegetation. I was going to say horticulture, but I was like, that's not the word I want.
That's the study.
Yeah, how far away from it? Are we from it?
Oh, you guys are within 40, 50 feet of it.
Do my eagle eyes see anything?
Inside of it, it looks abandoned.
I want to send my owl close to it, and whenever it's, in vision range, I want to look through the eyes of the owl and see if there's any signs of life, anything in there.
Okay.
I can roll perception if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception for the owl.
Let me pull up the stats. I don't know what its modifier is. +3.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and roll the perception.
So take 3 off that number.
Oh, all right.
7.
Yeah, from what you can see from your owl, swiftly flying over this place, a lot of it is covered up and, maybe just moss or just...
Oh, I'm sorry, it has an advantage on perception.
Okay. Yeah, roll it one more time. Well, that's a lot
20.
better. And your owl's going to be able to see that while there are like strips of cloth in here and some like ruined crates, for the most part it looks abandoned from what your owl can tell. It can't pick out any signs of life.
Okay, I'll call it out to the group and go back to my vision and say it appears to be empty.
All right, let's go check it out. Maybe this is where we camp tonight.
Are the Kayak Wars a thing that is that like known knowledge if you like just live in the world and know how to read?
That is ancient history. That is 700-year-old history. It is not well known of like everything that happened during them. Most people know they're a thing. You can roll me a history check if like Romans studied anything close to it, but it's not, common knowledge of just like, oh yeah, this general and this general and this general and this.
Halsik might know, but
Like, I'm not a well-read man. It's just one of those things like, oh yeah, we fought here in the Kayak Wars, and it's just kind of like,
what?
it's one of those deals where it's just like when it kind of hits you more and more just how old this woman is.
Let's see. If you are wondering on the Kayak Wars, Halsik could loosely inform you on them.
I would like
Let's
to
see if
learn
Deela
that.
gives us history lesson. She was there.
Professor
Yeah.
Professor Deela.
Yeah, Deela doesn't prompt any more. No, I'm just saying if you guys want to discuss it in character, Halsik rolled a history check, and I would say, like if Jordan was here as a character, Halsik could inform you guys more. But Deela,
Maybe
as you guys
after
are
we-
walking, all she says is like, "Oh yeah, I remember this tower. We fought here." That's all
Maybe
she says.
after we
If you
set up
fight-
camp and are nice and comfy.
Oh yeah, because I was probably gonna press her on it. I was just curious. It was one of those things where I'd be like, is it like, oh yeah, I kind of heard about that. What did you fight here for? It's just like, what do?
All right, so you guys, the entrance to this entrance, I put entrance with quotation marks as
Big old hole.
yeah, there's
Crumbled and stuff.
there's a huge like a good not fifth but probably a sixth of this wall in a V shaped is rubbled down and broken on one side. You can climb over that wall into the tower, or you can enter through either door from temple side or the entranceway. The door of this structure seems hinged closed. The wood itself seems preserved but very ancient. However, it doesn't look like the door's attached. More so that, like if you think of this as a brace, you'd expect this brace to be kind of like on the other side from stopping people from breaking into this place. However, the brace, there's a handle that this brace has been slipped into that seems at least a couple hundred years newer than the rest of this tower. On the front of this, it's kind of holding the door up.
Is it locked? Like I'm
No, it's
willing to
not
just
locked.
open it. I'm
Okay.
just willing to open it, see
Okay.
what happens.
You open the brace, pushing it aside, and the door is just going to swing open as the tower is kind of leaning towards you guys. The door swings open, and you can see the interior of this place. The same thing the owl saw. It is a multi-floored watchtower. From what it could see through the cracks. There were some crates in here that the setting sunlight was hitting, and most of them seem like probably as old as the brace on the door. They were any good, they definitely passed their prime like 200 years ago.
I say we set up camp and regroup and make a plan. This is a perfect opportunity for Deela to tell us stuff. She's old as hell.
Story time. with
All
Effie's
right.
mom.
Drelos steps in. I will allow both Drelos and Roman a reflex save.
Shit.
I have uncanny dodge. Does that help me?
I think uncanny dodge is a magical effect you can see. Let me look it up real quick. It might. But Roman sees it all too late. As Drelos is stepping in, Roman notices a pressure plate on the ground.
That like so Greylock stepped on it?
No, he's going to.
What's the reflex check? I don't see that.
Dexterity saving throw.
It's a dexterity saving throw. Roman, if he fails it, Roman can also try and yank him back. Yeah, so, you know, everybody's like stepping into here and, you know, like talking. Roman sees this trap and's like, wait, stop! And, you know, Drelos misplaces his foot, you know, stumbling, like trying not to set this thing off. Completely missing the pressure plate. Fine on his own, but Roman, hand on his collar, yanks him back a whole, you know, foot out of this place. There is a well-kept stone tile entering into this tower that does not look like the base of the rest of the floor. The rest of this floor is actually a mosaic matching the outside circular temple, with this one tile being out of place.
Does anyone in the party recognize this?
Roman actually recognizes two more of these tiles at the various ways to enter into the tower. There's one on each of them.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Uncanny dodge when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack. Yeah, so uncanny dodge would not have worked for this.
Yeah, anyways. Cool.
What is it? Is it a trap?
Yeah, it looks like it. There's a tile.
You didn't check for a trap before going in?
So, different from the rest of it. So, you know, bad news, this place is rigged.
Mm-hmm.
Good news is, in my experience, nobody sets traps for things that don't have anything of value.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree. But maybe investigate for traps in new, shady-looking buildings.
Yeah, we'll need to remember to be a little more careful next time.
At least we didn't die.
Just out of character, in case it needs to be said, I'm never going to be in the front. As a wizard, I'm going to be near the back always.
Okay, yeah, I just assume, you know,
Yeah.
Drelos was the one who stepped in after you opened the door.
Yeah, that's right.
When in doubt, my dumbass is probably eagle-eyeing at the front. Cool,
yeah, you
so-
see three of these plates. With, you know, careful step, you know, you guys can avoid stepping on this one. This plate itself is about, you know, 3 feet in diameter. Just, you know, taking up this whole entranceway, stepping into the room. It is a long step around it. And so everybody who wants to step in, you know, you can either disarm it or just give me an acrobatics check. But it's gonna be like DC 7 of just, you know, taking one long step over this thing into the room and, you know, just making sure you don't stumble doing it.
Hey guys, I'm going to volunteer to scout a little bit. I have both very good acrobatics and pretty decent investigation.
I mean,
Sounds good.
do we want to just maybe, I don't know, trigger it?
Wait, was it triggered or no?
I don't want to die.
No, it
No,
wasn't triggered.
Trails managed to miss it, and I snatched him out before he...
Well, I wasn't going to stand on it anyway. You just overdid yourself.
Well,
Feel
you
free
know,
to
better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not
Yeah.
mad at all.
if we leave it active though, and somebody comes there in here after us, it might give us a little bit of a boost, a little assistance if we need it.
True, but we don't know what the trap is. You know,
That's true.
for all
It
we
could
know.
crumble the entire thing. Like
Right.
I think having one person go in, and I volunteered to do that just to kind of check it out floor by floor.
I mean, can
Well,
we
you're-
disarm it?
You're a rogue, right? You should have thieves' tools. You should be able to disarm it.
Yeah, I do have thieves' tool, but like if we're just camping out here, we don't know if it's going to be to our advantage to keep it there.
Yeah, it might be safer to disarm it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that idea is based on basically what do we want to risk? If it's a, you know, I don't know,
Cloud of poison.
if it's, you know, like a dart shoots out from like right next to it, and it's only going to affect the guy standing on the tile, then sure, you know, security system works in our favor. But like if the floor collapses in on itself, well, then some bumbling knoll comes in, we all die.
Yeah, I just think I should check it out to see if there's a ton of traps on other floors. Like, I don't know. I could just disarm it, but I feel like we should check it out. I'm open to whatever anyone else says.
Yeah, same.
Anybody else? I mean,
No, I think it'd be good for him to go check it out and see if we can use it to our advantage. If we can't, we'll go ahead and disarm it so we have one less issue to deal with.
Alright, so
I-
beat the
I
acrobatics
investigate
barely.
I guess we gotta do acrobatics to get past this.
Yeah.
Can I do athletics for a sweet jump?
Yes, you can.
Barely.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit harder of a check for athletics to, you know, like get
Oh,
a.
boy.
You're fine on the 11. But I told you guys 7 for, you know, the step. It's going to be 10 for athletics. You know, you gotta prepare, make sure you jump into this place, and you're jumping through like this small doorway into the tower. So it's an easy feat, but it's not as easy of a feat as just stepping over it.
That would have been a 6 for acrobatics, by the way.
Yeah, I'm glad you did athletics. Alright, so doing some perception and like kind of or investigation, like just kind of checking out what's in there.
Yeah.
so sorry, I have a quick question.
Yes.
On the event, if hypothetically I were to roll a 1, but my proficiency is such that I still pass a 7, would I fail the check?
You
think it's
always fail checks on. Wait. No. I don't think you can crit fail checks in 5th edition. Let me double check for you.
I believe that would be at your discretion.
Yeah, because you don't always crit success checks. I know that this edition.
I ask because I have a +8 to my acrobatics, so literally the only way I can miss this or touch this button is by rolling a 1. And I'll risk it, because I'm a rebel. But
I'm saying caution, like I'm happy to go in here alone.
Yeah,
Like, you don't have to go crazy.
Go ahead and roll it for me, and
That's a moot point.
yeah.
I figured I might as well join you, because I mean I saw all the traps as is.
All right, let's see.
Alright, so Draelos, Alos, and Roman enter a bar. Alright, so we're all safely inside. What's the? Do we have a choice between
Yes.
investigation and insight?
Yeah, you can do either, but I just looked it up. There is crit fails are for a attack rolls and ability saves this edition. Skill checks, there is no crit fail and critical success.
Okay, so basically, yeah, I was perfectly fine, because my lowest possible 9 still beats a 7.
All right. So yeah, Roman hops in. Effie is going to hop in behind you guys as you know, she is a magically trained investigator. She's going to come with on the clause of in case there's any magic. Dila follows on the case of, you know, Effie's going in, and I don't want anything happening to her.
I'm starting to think we should have just disarmed this trap.
All right, I'm just trying to disarm the trap. What's the role in that?
It is not something you're overtly aware of trying to like disarm it, like, you know, how easy or hard it's going to be, but you can like you know, you can roll a sleight of hand check to try and disarm, or it's a thieves tool check to try and disarm this, like slowly picking up the pressure plate, seeing what it's attached to, you know, if that does anything, and like how gingerly and everything you go about this process. So
investigate to see what kind of trap it is.
Can it be a sleight of hand check? Because that would be great.
Yes, on the investigate, on the sleight of hand check, it is it is going to be a D20 roll plus your dexterity plus your proficiency if you have proficiency with thieves tools, which you should as a rogue.
All right. So you said investigation on that?
No. I was saying for the disarming.
Oh,
check.
D20.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Plus dexterity plus your proficiency.
I'm just curious what kind of trap it is, or if there's anything to be aware of.
That's beautiful.
That nat 20. All right. So
Second one of the night.
yeah. As Alo and Dralos go about disarming this thing, Dralos is going to lift this trap up, not pressing it down, and see that there is lots of tension on this trap, caused by several different cords on the bottom of it. The cords go into the floor, and following them, you can move a couple of stones that are kind of like pressed back into place, and you can see several of these cord mechanisms and the hook that, you know, if enough slack was released, that, you know, would cause the trap to go off, and, you know, you can tighten it right there, disarming the trap. You assume whatever this trap goes to has a pulley system that leads to above you guys.
Alright, and for the record, I also have +5 on dexterity because I have 20 on that, and I also get +2 for Thieves' Tool, so...
Yeah, it was a DC
I feel
16.
pretty confident in this. Alright, so I relay that information that it's probably a pulley system with something above us, so we should use some caution.
Everybody looks up. There is a giant spiked chandelier in this room that covers the entirety of it.
I was about to ask, we screwed it up. Okay.
See, there we go. See, that's what I was saying. You know, if it's totally possible that the thing would drop on all of us.
Brandon,
Rather than disarming, I feel like we should almost just leave it and go to the next floor. If a gnoll walks in and the giant chandelier falls down, it's good for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Dralos is like, rather than disarming, hey, you guys, tell me if you see anything in there. Steps out, drops it, walks in, and loots everyone.
Once everyone else died. My bad. I'll loot their corpses.
It was like, go ahead and disarm it. You know, we still have 2 other entrances.
I guess
it is disarmed.
Okay, so we just now have 1 entrance to watch, and can
2
really focus on that.
And probably move up a floor.
Yeah.
Definitely move up a floor.
We should also check the floor above.
And the stairs and everything on the way. Like, let's proceed with like a billion rolls. Like, I'm cool with that.
Fair. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm drinking. And you shouldn't be doing this while DMing, but I'm drinking root beer, and I just keep burping like 10 minutes. I'm sorry. You guys are going upstairs. There are metal bars of worked into the stone here that work as a ladder leading into the second floor. The bars allow you guys to have a climb speed moving up there. This floor, while it looks like there's normally a trap door, latch door, trap door that covers it up. The tower is broken in such a way that you can see that the V here of where the outer wall is broken is kind of where the trap door would have been, and you can just climb up and get onto the second floor. This area, you guys can see there is a bedroll and cot of sorts. It doesn't look used whatsoever. However, looking at it, Dila is going to say, it appears smugglers have made their den here. And she's going to look back at you guys and say, they're probably long gone, though. You only need a place like this when you're trying to move something over borders.
As we're moving through this place, can I look for anything valuable?
Yes, you don't find any. You don't find anything up here.
Well, I think this is a great spot to make camp, and let's camp out on the second floor and keep watch on the only entrance to the second floor here. If they do come in, there's already a trap. There's also, we'll see them coming, so I think this is a good idea.
The windows around this floor, right? Can we look outside?
Yeah, you can look outside. It's hard to see out the southern window that the southern archer slit, to be more specific. This is a very narrow window with a beam, a metal beam for where a wooden slate would be attached to it. And this whole thing is probably 8 inches wide, 9 inches wide. And it's probably 4 or 5 feet tall. However, there's no wooden slit here as it's long since decayed. Looking out southwards, it's hard to see past the forest. This tower isn't consumed by the forest, but the forest grows in such a way that the taller trees of it block everything on the southern horizon. Alright,
at least we'll have a last minute chance to see something coming through the close foliage.
Yeah.
So we have an advantage in that aspect.
The northern horizon, however, you can look out over the plains in front of you. You can clearly see where the Darius desert begins. And you can also see 2 Heimsdale towns in the distance as, they're lighting up torches and fires and things, and they look like glimmering lights. Just that you guys are on a hill, looking down on a climbed up high, 30, 40 feet into a tower, looking at these things, and they're far in the distance. The east side is where the V-shaped break in the wall is. Any weather, could hit you guys from that side, but, for the most part, weather travels west to east over here, so you should be fine.
Everything seems to be lining up in my mind, so let's bring out some story time, Dila.
She's gonna look at you with a smile and say, what story do you want to hear?
I wonder if this area. You said that you remember being here.
You fought here in the Kayak Wars?
Dila is gonna nod and say it was when Olivia was still making a name for herself as a well, after she had made quite a name for herself as a shatterer. And her expression, where she was smiling at first for story time, is going to grin. And she's gonna say, I was traveling with an archmage at the time, a human one. His name was Kuop Yapel. One of the most brilliant Sarai I've ever met. We knew that the war were either ended with Heimsdale's destruction and subsequently the destruction of the Sunsarai nations, or we destroyed the Earthfire. And she's gonna look back at the forest and say, it wasn't that well grown when I was in this region, but we had to make what friends we could. We smuggled ourselves onto the continent on the southern shores. At that time, the Kaidans were still around. They were a noble family for the Kayak Empire. They ruled these lands.
What type of creature were the kayaks?
The Kaidans?
Guidance, yeah, my bad.
She shakes her head and say, they're long dead now. Creations by a god that's abandoned this world.
Well, what can I say to have her describe them? I want to know what they were like.
She is gonna give you a physical description and say they look like people, but they weren't exactly composed like people. See, this god had a tendency to become infatuated with creation, but creation isn't something all gods that's in the domain of all gods. And she's gonna continue and say they each of his creations were different, but similar in fashion. He infused normal Sarai with elements and earth and magics, and this changed them.
Okay, I was just trying to see if there's a correlation between that and the tracks that we don't know what are.
What was this god's name again?
Say it again?
What was this god's name again?
Dim Death.
Dim Death?
Yep. Dimdeth. Dim Medith, actually. I forgot the consonants are in a different place.
And what is he up to now?
Dila is going to look up at you and say he left this world when Olivia destroyed his empire.
Might be a valuable ally if we can find him.
She nods and says, a lot of the gods would be more helpful if they actually paid attention to some of the things we go through.
Preach.
Dila, at that, is going to start making a bed and say, if you guys just watch for 4 hours, and she's going to yawn and take a stance or a posture to meditate, and then continue and say, I'll watch for the rest of the night.
I'm cool with staying awake for 4 hours and then sleeping for 4. Cause I'm half elf. That's 4 hours, right?
No, half elves need 8 hours of rest.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna volunteer to sleep.
I'll sleep. Effie takes the first watch. She
I'm gonna take
needs
a 4 hour.
one person to take another 2-hour watch.
I mean, I'll do it.
I'm gonna do my trance at the same time as Dila.
Alrighty. Alright, first watch. on Effie. Second watch on for Roman. Roman is Effie's watch passes, from what you guys can tell, uneventfully. As she wakes up Roman and gets ready to sleep herself, she tells Roman to keep an eye out. She saw outriders get, and she couldn't tell who they were, but she saw outriders get terribly close to the tower, moving westward.
Noted, thank you.
Roman's watch passes uneventfully.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, and Dila and Alo's watch for the rest of the night. Theirs also passes uneventfully.
When we're up, can I ask if we can start writing on the teleportation scroll? Maybe get a few hours of it done, if she doesn't mind.
Oh, so
It'll be 14 hours total.
her writing the incantation in your book, if she does that, you are not going to be able to cast it.
Even when I get to the right level, I won't be able to read it.
No, you won't be able to read it because it's in her shorthanded incantation script, and every wizard puts things in their book in the way that's easiest for them to read and do their spells.
And she couldn't tell me how to read it or anything.
She could, and then you'd have to inscribe it into your book again.
I'm fine with that. Just have this, because then she could cast a spell from my book, right?
No, she cannot use your spell book. Your book is not only the spells and incantations and the arcane language of how to cast these spells. It's also written with magical components that are attuned to your essence that enable the spell casting through the book.
Alright then.
She could help you put it into your book. And that would just ensure, if anything happens to the scroll, you still have it.
But she couldn't cast it?
She would not be able to cast it because your book doesn't have the necessary contracts and other things at the start of it to enable her to cast spells.
Well, yeah, if we can just get it in my book for me later, that'd be fine.
She will help you do that. You can. No, you don't want to expend any of the components now because you'll still have to do it later. But what is it? 7 hours?
2 hours per level. It's level 7, so 14 hours total.
Okay, yeah, you guys are not going to be able to finish it tonight.
How many hours can we get done on it?
There are 4 hours of your guys' watch left. You guys can get about 2 hours done on it of just, switching out between keeping watch for the night and working on it. That is the night of the 29th, and it is the 30th of it's the 30th of Priestess. Wow, you guys are almost to a new month.
Yay.
Well, it said that we saw some villages in the relatively near distance.
Yes.
Let's pick one and go there.
All right. Dila is going to lead you guys to one that is more deeper in the terrain. You can see where both of these villages are, and one is completely a border town. Another one is you guys probably have a good lay of 25 25 miles of vision that you can see from within this tower, just from where it's placed. And one is a good dozen or so miles back, at least. That is still well within the plains of the town. It is the one with a city wall. Tristan and Dila informing you guys that the town you scryed on Jessica had a city wall.
I think this is promising. Does anyone object to us going in that direction and just kind of keeping a general idea of like anyone approaching?
Sounds good to me.
You know, be on your guard. Though they've probably moved on, there's always the chance that it's showtime.
Yeah, let's just be on our guard and go that way.
All right. You guys are... there we go. That's what I wanted. You guys are able to move towards the... what? Okay. You guys are able to move towards the second town pointed out to you. And, move. Alright, I'm done with the root beer. I'm gonna keep drinking water. I'm tired of like trying to describe things and just my voice stopping halfway through. You guys are able to move to the second town, and getting to the city gates, there is no actual southern city gates here. You can see from some of the taller buildings in the middle of town. There are some of them are broken in, and it seems that some large spells were set off inside of this town. Feasibly,
Recently?
Yeah. You guys can guesstimate from Olivia. It looked like this when you guys scryed on it. There is no southern gate into the town from the southern wall. You guys are approaching from the south. You guys can enter the town from the east, the west, or you can climb the wall.
I want to throw out the idea that this might be the good idea to not be walking in a giant posse. It might draw too much attention. Like, we look like we're about to go to war. If we walk into the city that just was attacked, they might be on high edge right now.
Dila...
We're trying over to help, though.
Dila is going to put up her hood. Effie is going to stop her and say, maybe you should sit this one out. Dila is dressed like an Agram's garb. It is the only set of clothes she has. Dila is going to very frustratingly pinch her eyebrows together and say, just go into town and buy me some clothes. Effie nods and she's going to lift up her mouth and her teeth in kind of like a grinny smile, and look at you guys and say, how do my fangs look?
How do her fangs look?
They are apparent as you guys are staring at them. Just knowing Effie and from what you guys have just been traveling with her, and it's been a steady progression. She definitely looks more vampire-like than when you first met her. On a good turn of the sun, though, and on a good turn of the sun, and her hood up, nobody really paying attention to her, she could pass easily for human.
I think Effie should also not go in. They're extra sensitive about that.
Let's not take that chance.
I might be able to hide her fangs with some magic.
Even then, they're just coming off of a Terrai attack with Olivia and Jessica. Let's be cautious.
Okay, follow-up question. Do any of us know Tila's size?
He was what?
For size. For clothes.
She could fit any of she could fit any of your guys' traveler's clothes, as most traveler's clothes are just, a set of overrobes and, a cloak to throw over your head. They are not things that are, made tailored to fit. I don't know if anybody has any extra traveler's robes. She couldn't fit your
I
guys'.
have a spare set of fine clothes.
She could not fit your common clothes. She could wear your fine clothes, and she would look different.
I forgot I had those still.
I don't still have the dresses. Unfortunately, I sold those.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a percentage die of if she could have even fit Hapelri's dress. Not that it matters. Yeah, Hapelri would have definitely had hips that Dila would not have been able to work with.
Yeah, hips and according to that picture, other stuff too.
I'm sorry. I'm just giggling at the idea that it just wouldn't work because apparently Hapelri's got a nicer badonk than.
Well, no, she has. I'm sorry, she has curves that that would not have worked for Winrona. It is worth mentioning, Hapelri's dresses were barely dresses. They were a Lil Nagai high fashion.
Yeah.
Hapelri's
So like
dresses were,
fishnet and high heels. Okay.
yeah, Hapelri's dresses, it would be closer to call them hand towels than dresses.
Well, yeah, because the Lil guy's thing is sort of like, yeah, fig leaves are a way to censor yourself. Because I have to, I guess.
Yeah, the sun shines for, 75% of the day. It's on the equator, it's hot, it's coastal regions all the time. You don't want to be bogged down.
We,
Yeah, so we get her some traveler's clothes or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys climb the gate, you head into the east side of town, or north side of town, or northeast, or the west are your two options. Actually, I'll do it here on the compass. You can climb the gate from the south, or you can enter in any of those directions.
Climbing the gate might seem kind of bad.
Or, I'm sorry, it's a wall. There is no gate on the south side.
Yeah, I mean, climbing the wall might be bad, because they just see us and like, hey, how'd you get here?
Yeah, it might make our motives look less than desirable.
Well, we're friendly. We're just here to buy 2 Terai, waiting outside. Well, one of them is a Terai. The other one's dressed like a Terai, but she's dressed like the Empress's personal court, but she's not with she is with, and she's like one of her best friends, but and I know you guys are at war with them, but we're just here to get the okay, we're gonna stop talking.
In the hypothetical, Roman would have just eventually just been like, oh, okay, fine, we're fighting.
Great, we gotta fight. No, we gotta fight this town.
Do you guys go
Alright,
join Olivia? She's like, what?
So, those of us who do not look suspicious, how about we go through one of their open gates?
Define suspicious. I am a barrel-chested man without a shirt on.
Very a little Gillian.
Alright, raise your hand if you think that you can blend into public without being intimidating. That's me.
Raise his hand.
Yeah, Effie also raises her hand.
Effie, put your
Effie,
hand
stop
down.
it.
Alright.
It'll be fine.
Tristan is going to start walking towards the western gate.
I'm following Tristan.
Yeah, he's a man who knows what he's doing.
Hauser is going to be.
Would it be a bad idea to scry on?
Wait,
Olivia
Alzic's
and
about to go a
Rebecca?
direction. We need to know that direction so we don't go in.
Well, that's what I'm
Don't follow
gonna.
Hausic.
That's what I'm rolling. Above 50%, he is contrarian. Below 50%, he follows the party. 75%, Hausic heads towards the east gate.
Fuck him. That's how we write him out. We lost him in Himesdale.
Is Draylos going with Hausic, or is he?
No, I don't think he's a good enough meat shield for me.
All right. You guys head into the. You guys head into the western gate of town. You can clearly see the path. The way there's one long street that our street is a difficult word. There's one long. The whole town is built around this trail that leads through town, and this is not a big town at all. Maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 important large structures, and then maybe 3 dozen houses scattered around these structures. And squeezed between, this wall that's been put up. Heading to the south side of town, south side. Heading into the west side of town, you can see this is an open gate. However, there is a presence of guards here. As you guys step in, there are only 3 guards. By the way, they're going to step forward. 2 holding spears, and one seeming to be more of a commander of sorts with a sword and shield. And the 2 are going to stop the party, and the third one's going to walk up and say, "Town's been attacked. We're waiting for reinforcements from Himesdale. All merchants and traders have to be properly checked before entering."
Out of character, does anyone have super high persuasion where they can just be like, "We are not the droids you are looking for"?
I mean, if I was allowed to use my dexterity as a form of intimidation, perhaps, but...
Well, it's not intimidate. I'd kind of doubt that's going to be the best action.
Potato!
I want to ask what are they searching for?
They are going to... Or rather, the captain's going to say, Archblight used weird magics. Took down over half my men. Her and a girl.
I feel like we should play oblivious to anything. I think we should just have them think we're random strangers. So, I consent to them checking me.
I don't cast magic, so... whatever.
Alright, so... does everybody consent?
Sure.
Okay, and Urkus is going into the town too, right?
Yeah.
Alright, for
oh no, that flail! Oh no!
For Draylos, for Alo, for Roman, and for Tristan. So, the first thing the party is going to notice is they are searching and patting down Draylos. Your thief is packing a bunch of items that you guys have definitely not noticed him pick up before.
Shut up, Brandon! Shut up!
Well, they're taking this out in front of the rest of the party. He has a
Damn it.
small arsenal, tons of vials of poison, acid, and alchemist fire, weapons. Of course, he's got Of course, he's got the, all the bars of gold that you guys did see him pick up.
Why did you consent to this?
I'm ready to kill a
This is like
motherfucker if
that-
I have to.
It's like that scene from The Matrix, except if you consented at a TSA checkpoint.
They are going to confiscate your acid, not knowing what it is. They are not smart enough. They just see a green.
Can I do would a persuasion check maybe sway them to not? Or a deception check to tell them it's not what they think it is?
Yeah, you can try, but to them it's just green. It's green potion stuff. That's
No, not his medicine. He needs that to live.
What do you? And you're saying it's your medicine?
Yeah.
The guard captain, pocketing these is gonna say, "I know magic stuff when I see it." Not at all. Well, you know what? He does have to contest that. He does not roll a 1, and he's gonna say, "I know magic stuff when I see it."
Alright, so he's confiscated my acid.
Yes, he confiscates your 3 vials of acid.
Alright.
Everything else you have is fine here. They get through the whole party, and Urkus actually, the guards are going to move to arrest Urkus as they find the runestone with God, what is written on that one?
Shit.
Reed,
That
I
is.
think?
Yeah, right. They find the runestone
damn.
with Rye
Knew it.
written on it, and they're gonna say, you've come back with her.
Who?
He is going to show this runestone to the party and say one of these was smuggled into town the day before the attack. It's and he's going to gesture to all the broken buildings in town and say the magic coming from it's what did all of that. Arrest him. The 2 guards are going
Whoa,
to
hold on.
Hi, guys.
I put my arms up and say, "Whoa, hold on now. All right, I found that in a cave, like a day or two's travel from here. It was in the ground.
Hey!
I thought
I
could-
know magic when I see it.
Okay,
I have an obligation
understand,
to protect these citizens.
and I understand. So, how about I leave? You can keep that. You can break it for all I care, because honestly, I don't want to deal with this.
Urkus
All right.
just begins walking away.
Yeah, I'll be like, look, man, I came here to buy some stuff, put some in your economy, maybe help you guys, but now you're here attacking me for something that I found open to sell.
As you leave it in there, they don't have authority outside of this town.
Yep.
Obviously there's no military here right now because they're all killed.
Yep.
Stop you. So as you begin walking away, he's gonna say, "Hey!"
And I'll turn back and
anyways.
tell him, look, man, you want that thing, you can keep it. Whatever cursed bullcrap it did to your city, this is going to be on your hands because, look, you have it now. Oh, you must be with the person that attacked this city.
He is going to hand it to one of the other guards and say, "Go bury this thing in the fields outside the town. 500 yards out minimum."
I would tell him, like, you might want to maybe
Not do that.
not do that, because I saw some bad stuff back where that was at, and whew.
We near an ocean? You might want to throw it in the ocean.
Can Dila say something with
She's not here.
Oh yeah, Dila's not there for sure. Yeah, never mind.
Oh God. Tristan has a bag of holding that is taking one of the guards sentry to get through. He's going to as all of this is happening, you guys are gonna see this
Piles of ingots.
yeah, you're gonna see this third guard who's been like searching through here just kind of like look around and then just say, "Yeah, this one's all good."
And I'm just looking at him like, oh, so he can take the stuff from that place, but I take this shiny rock, and you want to, you know what? Fine, whatever.
My good. Everybody seems to have caused some problem with these guards.
I think I feel like the
now.
rock should go into the bag of holding outside of this plane. Like, just purely outside of this plane. Like, it cannot affect us.
I'm just being passive aggressive now.
Um,
Oh, he can bring a bag of holding with all kinds of gold. I bring a shiny rock I found, and suddenly I'm enemy number 1. Fine.
yeah, the guard captain's just gonna say, I have to protect this town. And he's gonna say, this thing poses a danger. I can't let it in.
Right, so I would say not put it into the ground instead of FYI.
That's where we found it. It seems to be how it draws its power.
He's going to nod, taking each of your words to heart. The people who had actually closed the gates to stop you guys from coming in are not occupying the station, so he doesn't have to stop them from closing the gates. He's going to hold the stone and say, you can enter Wynwood.
I like to look at him and say, can I enter?
Roll me a persuasion check, just with that look of just...
This is a piss.
Yeah,
Really? You're gonna do this to me?
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, and,
Those 2 rolls.
and he's going to look you up, look you over, and he's
Scowling.
Say it again.
I'm scowling.
Yeah, he's going to look you up, look you over, and say, "You give us a report on this rock, and we can discuss your entrance."
No,
Okay.
I do have a disguise kit. Is there a chance I could just kind of do a little step aside and just be like, "This is not the droid you're looking for"?
Not in front of them.
Yeah, not in front of. I'll just tell him. All right. I mean, if he
We'll
wants
catch
to
up with you.
report, if he wants to report, I'll tell him where I found it.
All right. So the party is allowed into the eastern or western gate. He accompanies you guys and tells Urkus and says, "I'm gonna need you in my to come to my barracks."
I'm gonna look at the party and say, "Can one of you come with me? Because now I don't trust this person.
I got you, buddy.
You harassed me."
I think we all should stick together. I'll go as well.
Okay. I guess the rest of you guys will just get stuff we need.
So, yeah.
Travelers.
I want to just try and do some investigation around and see if there's any hint to direction they may have gone. If anyone in town has any additional information that could help us locate them.
All right.
Out of character, if we were just honest, we probably could have got their help on this.
That's partially why I'm okay being here with Urkus, because it's like, well, you want information, the guy in charge of security.
I was forthcoming. I just was lying about the acid. I was
I was
Hey, you
also
can search me.
forthcoming. I did find it in a cave a few days from here.
Yeah.
We just left out the part with the Shatterer and the nonsense.
He rolled an insight check against you for Urkus on that persuasion check of just, him discerning. And he got a nat 20 of just this guy,
no.
This guy's just, hate border
He has
towns.
so much. He has some extra stuff that we needed to know. Yeah.
Anyways, what you can roll me that investigation check for Dralos. What is he asking as he's searching around town?
I'd say first off, he's probably going to try and find a townsperson that doesn't look like an old hag, and try and get some intel.
All right.
God dang it.
Yeah.
Find only old hags, and you have to hit on them.
So, as the rest of the party is, and you're gonna break off from them as they're being led through town too. They're being led through the central road through town towards what appears to be a if you think of this town in thirds, well, that's not even a fair description of it.
maybe quadrants.
Yeah, actually, and I'll delete all of this. If you think of this town in spheres, and I will get this picture on Roll20 for you guys if you next session, if you guys decide that you want to if you guys want to spend more than a day in this town.
Oh, I feel
Yeah, Urkus is just like, I want to leave as fast as I can.
also because of Effie.
Yeah, this is a good intel. Like, let's figure out what's going on and get out.
All right.
They aren't
So-
here anymore, obviously.
That's those are the just different kind of bubbles of neighborhoods you guys see in this town, and he is going to lead you guys to this northwest, seventh of town, and our northeast, and this whole area is a there's a large barracks here, and there's a large stone barracks here. Two towers lining this northern road built into the gate, and then there's a stable and what appears to be some sort of mess hall, and then all of these temporary just cabins, tents, and smaller structures of just like perfectly aligned military encampment here. Most of them are empty. Anyways, though, before we get to that point, as he's leading you through the center of town, you guys are going to pass the temple, and there is a large public funeral going on right now, and that's where Draelos is going to kind of break off and start, asking people questions. The rest of the party is going to head north to is going to head north with this guard to the barracks.
Does anyone else want to investigate with me? Like, I'm not the smartest guy.
You have Tristan.
I think we all went to the barracks.
Whatever
Wait,
happened to
don't forget-
Hauser?
the other side.
Yeah, Hauzik came in on this side of town.
We get to the barracks and Halzik's in there in jail.
Yeah, it's just like, what is this spear?
That's how we lose
Where'd you
Hauzik.
get it? It's like, I killed a guy and took it. Come on, it's really mine, guys. Actually, I do have to search if Hauzik has any contraband on him. Yeah, Hauzik's pretty good about, not having not having any scary stuff on him.
I didn't think about it until we got close to the city. I was like, crap.
I mean, as you guys were walking, you could have just picked up the stone and threw it. Alright.
Would have got bad.
So, the funeral, as you are asking around for Draelos, as you're asking around for somebody, who might be able to tell you what's going on here, and what happened in town. Somebody preferably who's not an old hag. Everybody's going to be trying to pay attention to the ceremony going on. It is a ceremony being handled by the Given Wills, as you can tell just from the banners that are flying on the temple. And I'm actually going to roll a percentage die if there is and it's not and this is, it's kind of a less than official ceremony. There's not as much pomp to it, as you come from Sky's Reach, which is literally one of the cultural epicenters of the world, and this is a border town on the back. This is the border town on the far corner of the world, and the priest who is handling this funeral, there are a myriad of candles on the porch of this, are on the north annex of the temple, And he is giving a speech, and ever so often, like, looking down at his book, like, his prayer book, getting lost where he's talking and finding his place.
Is this kind of like a vigil as opposed to like a funeral?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just
It's
kind of
more
like
of
a collection of people.
Yeah,
like,
it's more of
kind
a vigil. However, the guy officiating the service is not good at what he's doing. But as you're asking about, people are still going to be trying to like pay reverence and pay attention, and they're going to tell you that most Outlanders around this area, don't get a lot of Outlanders. They only come into town for like a day or so, and that if you want somebody who's not like an old resident with an outside perspective, you'd probably have to check the merchants, general store. It is directly in the center of town.
I think I would like to go in that direction and continue figuring out what people know.
All right. You are stepping into the merchants. Are stepping into the merchant's general store. This is one of those large buildings. That's the series of like the three. I told you guys 3 major structures are in this town: the temple, the merchant, and what's that other one? Oh, the crafting area. And this one has 2 large like center bell towers. Just marking it as like one of the tallest places in the center of town. And one of these bell towers is broken in as far as like this is definitely one of the buildings. This is definitely the town square where the attack happened. And stepping into this place, you have to enter through the other bell tower entrance. And this area is going to be cram packed with stuff. Are there
a lot of people?
You can see people, but as you step in, you're going to be greeted by a man named Dohas and say, "Hey, welcome to the Howling Ogre. This is the one-stop shop for everything you need before you go into the desert. We've got a couple rooms back in the tavern if you need to stay for a night." Looking at you like squeeze into this shop and like stepping into and I can kind of it's L-shaped like this tower that you're entering through, and there is a I don't know why I drew that there. There is another one on the other side like that. But anyways, as you're squeezing through this place, he's going to say, "Sorry about all the merchandise, town, or rather I lost a third of my shop yesterday. So I had to move things to where it'd be safe from bandits and thieves."
I want to estimate how much I think that by renting out some rooms, enough for the entire party would be, and give them extra, and tell them to fetch me some keys. At the same time, I'd like to. Am I alone with just this one guy?
So how this place is structured, this tower, if you think of kind of like a gift store or like a gift shop before you get into a restaurant, that's kind of how this place is. You can see in the back part past him, there is a dining area where there are more people inside of there. However, the only person who seems to be working this front shop is him.
Okay. How much money do I think I need to give him to make him go get some keys for us? Like, well, I just kind of want to hand him some money.
You can ask him, and he can tell you that this is kind of a poor place to stay at. I mean, it's the finest place in all of Heimsdale, and you should be happy that he... No, I'm kidding. An in-stay here is per person going to be 5 silver. And that is at per person, not per room.
What I'll do is I'll hand him 10 golds and tell him to bring me some keys.
He is going to smash the counter and say, well, dang nabbit, with money like that around here, you can have as many keys as you want. Rooms don't rightly have locks on them, but I'll make you up a key tonight.
Alright. My intention is to get him to go away and get me something. So this 10 gold is to make him go somewhere and fetch something for me.
Interesting. He is going to he's going to step out of the room and he's going to be coming back in a minute. Like, you just ask him to grab you some, like, any key he can get?
Yeah.
Alright.
And I would like to... do I have to do a check before sleight of hand to try and gauge value of things?
I mean, you can look at the different things he has, like, on his shelf and try and grab something. I'm going to put you on a time limit, though, before he returns.
Alright.
What's the decision?
Alright, I want to try and focus my intent on one item, the most valuable, that I can tell from the moment.
Alright, his merchandise is the weirdest thing you have ever seen. There are all of these oval stone... these ovals that kind of bend into a point, like maybe a dagger point, but these things are as long as a gauntlet, and there are gems inside in the center of each of these things, and there are tons of just different shapes of these things, and these different and they all have like different gemstones like encrusted in them. You can roll a sleight of hand to try and grab one. The smallest one that you can find is about half the size of your arm. Like from your elbow to your wrist, half that size. I guess that's a femur, half the size of your femur.
Femur thigh.
That is, you are about only able to grab that before he comes back in here. There is a person following him. Anthony, are you still there?
Present.
All right. So, describe to me your character.
Very sunken-eyed, middle-aged man wearing basically a normal cloak and robe with a pseudo-dragon on his shoulder and black hair with slight streaks of gray.
And by pseudo-dragon, you mean like an actual living, not just like some figurine thing on your shoulder, right?
No, it's an actual living, breathing pseudo-dragon. It's a pet dragon.
It's badass.
Little pet dragon on my shoulder. It's blue.
As he brings you into, as he brings this person into the room, he's gonna say, "Oi, fella! This is the only lad I could find in the whole place that had a key on him." And he leans over on the counter and says, "Good mister here will buy that key off you."
I already paid you money. I expect this to... I expected you to take care of all the details.
And he's going to point at Dralos and say, "This lad blew in with a bunch of his friends from out of town, just like you."
Why do you want my key?
We are visiting for a limited time, and I am procuring living arrangements for the group. for my friends.
So why do you need my key?
He is going to interrupt you and say, old Admir here came in with Kalen and Devon. A lot of them, good lads them, and his wife, they died in the attack yesterday. Perhaps you could trade that key there for protection, Admir.
Sure. If you
If you want
taking-
protections, let's negotiate a little bit. How long do you need protection?
I'm trying to get some Brandon out of character. Knowing this town, saying where I wouldn't be intending to go would be a bad idea.
No. So this place that you're in is for, they told you Outlanders heading east stay here. As this is the only guy that would accommodate you.
Okay.
This guy knew the people that were taking you to the border. As it's a regular service, they did. They were not taking you any further than the border. Researchers want to go to the border all the time. And go to the Darkened Vale. To study the Kayak Empire is not a bad thing. And that's what most of the time the pretense is given. So people don't care if you say, like, you're going to the Darkened Vale. If you're like, I'm a Terai and I'm going to, start a new Terai empire there, and be like, no, let's kill this dude.
Okay. I'm trying to get to the Darkened Vale. The people I had procured were taking me as far as the border. If you want to take me that far for my key, I guess that's fine.
I don't know if my plan correlates with that.
I'm sorry, guys.
I want my party to evolve.
I'm stupid. Give me an insight check, both on Draelos and Admir. DC 12 for either of you guys.
Fail.
So close.
So close.
Can you at least take me somewhat east then?
Give me one for Draelos too.
I did. I rolled a 6 on it.
Oh, you rolled a 6. Oh, you guys are both dumb.
They're just not wise. There's a difference.
Yeah. Something.
No, I'm also dumb. So let's.
Yeah. Something procs a something procs a very, like, that part of your mind that snaps. That's just like, wait, do I know this person? Seems, but no,
I was about to ask that too. I was like, does he look familiar to me?
Yeah, the part of your mind starts spinning of just like, you think you've seen him before, but you can't place it.
I'm going to prompt Admir. I'm going to say, if you assist us in locating our friend, the party is more likely to join you, but I'm not one person. I'm only one person in a group.
Admir just kind of looks around at the rest, or behind him. Where's the rest of you then?
I say that we have to clarify some information with the guard. There's no need to be impatient.
I guess if it gets me to my goal, I don't mind helping out in some ways. But
let's hear what the rest of the group has to say once they arrive. I think that you joining us would be a contribution, assuming you're of good heart.
Fair enough.
All right.
What's your name?
Oh yeah. By the way, I am Draelos. Draelos Crustmoon. Admir Strogi. Brandon, at this point, would one of us recognize the other name, or are those insight checks that much of a fail?
So you guys didn't meet each other before. At the name, I'll allow you a second insight check. And like just staring at each other's features, I'm gonna move the DC down to 10. If you don't pass it, then it's going to be an hour before you can try it again.
We both pass.
Yeah, like
Yay.
as you're shaking his hand and like looking him in the face over, he has very Ilderon Sky's Reach like mannerisms, features like painted across him. You've probably seen him as a passing face at the university before. Lots of people come through, and it's not uncommon for scholars to like studying the Kayak Empire. The ruins of it is pretty much like the biggest is like the biggest area of like magical study and breakthrough right now. So it's not uncommon to see them traveling through Heimsdale in like a region like this. You can correctly put together that you like why he's triggering familiarity in you is that you've probably seen him at the university before.
I'm guessing the same goes for Admir.
Yes.
I will also throw out there that I have a fellow teacher at the university within our group. I'm not gonna specify, but I'm just gonna say that there's more people from Illumina Guy.
You're traveling with other people from the university?
I am, but it's not my place to introduce the people not here. It is.
Thank the gods I can finally found someone I can trust at least a little bit.
Alright, and I'm willing to leave it there. Like I think at least having kind of a general idea of where I've met this guy, or possibly have met this guy, I'm willing to just kind of chill out with him while I wait for the party.
Okay, you wait in the inn? Or the
Yeah.
tavern? Okay. Alright, so the rest of the party in the barracks. You as the whole party follows this guy through this military section of town to the central fortified stone building. He is going to lead Urkus and as he's like stepping through here, and like this place is depressing. So most of these tents unoccupied. Most of the cabins, like there might be 2 people in every other cabin. The stepping into the barracks is the worst thing. Most specifically, the 2 guards that would be manning this area and just kind of on patrol aren't wearing armor. Stepping inside of here, what would be kind of his logistical officer is Bandage. As he's like filling out paperwork of you guys, like as he's filling out paperwork, you guys see like step by him. You can see half his face just wrapped in bandages. He's still in Heimsdale like officer uniform, but under it, you can see bruised skin, more areas that are wrapped and treated. And this place is not very populated at all. As you're walking through, the captain is going to say back to you, I only needed your friend. The rest of you are free to wander about town as you please.
I would prefer if at least one of them was here, just to help explain.
He nods and says, "I can understand that. As far as Wynwood goes, it's never been the most secure of the border towns. But once we got the city wall up and a battalion of soldiers within our city, I didn't think things like yesterday could happen."
Wow, this all happened yesterday.
Well, we scried it. We saw that happen yesterday.
Yeah, but we haven't heard it from his point of view.
Oh, true. My bad.
No, I'm saying
not even-
that trying to be Ezra, because I'm saying that trying to be oblivious. Like, oh, really? You don't say.
Yeah. And he's going to lead you into the office, placing the rune on the table on his desk, and say, while ago, or the day before, a woman brought one of these into town, left it at the inn, collapsed, and that was all there was to her spirit. We didn't think of it as we handle situations like this. Seldom.
Oh, Brandon.
Yes.
And it kind of collapsed on me. I mean, it's not collapsed. It cut off on me after you said collapse, and then it came back like not too long after that.
Oh, he said, it's we handle situations, but we don't handle situations like that often.
Okay, all right, because I know he said she brought it to the inn, and then something collapsed, and then that it cut off, and I didn't hear anything other than
he said that was all there was to her spirit. And he goes on and states and says the following day, woman and her daughter came into town, sullen looking bunch, and as soon as they got to the town center, he says, I was on patrol just down the road, but I saw it flying from the ground, sigils, runes, spells in every direction, the cries of a Terai. I rallied as many soldiers as I could, and he's going to shake his head and say, the way that girl moved, she was empowered with some sort of dark magic. And he looks up at you and says, that's why when a second one of these shows up at my town, I want to catch it before that happens. What do you know of this?
Well, we were helping a comrade of ours find her mother, and we happened upon that rune in a cave. I want to say 2, maybe 3 days travel south from here. It seemed strange. I had picked it up on a whim, and there were 2 others there. I don't know if it deactivated some kind of rune sequence, but we took some of what was there because obviously whoever was using this was up to no good. It probably would have been better in our hands, maybe even sell it. And we happened upon here. I was hoping to maybe even sell that too, whatever that is.
He looks at it and says, before yesterday I'd never seen anything like it. And he says, I'm just fortunate for the customs guard that saw it come into town was still survived the attack. And he's going to poke it and say, what are its properties?
That I don't know. All that I really know or prefer that you not do is never ever put it into the ground. Especially here after hearing what you said happened.
He's going to look underneath it, like picking it up, tilting his head, and say, can we use it?
I don't honestly know. I don't even know what the runes say on it.
Well, hold up. Do I know? Because I want to say we've had it read out loud.
Yeah, it's
Dealer read it.
It's Rye
I know
and,
Dealer read it.
Primordial.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know what it says because I can't read Primordial.
Well, that's what I was saying. I thought she said it out loud. I don't know if it would be appropriate for me to be like, "Oh yeah, it says this."
Yeah, you
But-
can say that if you want.
Well, what did it say?
Rye, R-I-I, and Primordial.
I'll always say it says. I'll say the part where it says it's a rye.
Right.
Out of character, because I'm not actually there, I just want to say that we should play our cards closer to our chest.
Yeah, he's gonna scratch his head and say, "Sir, Rye."
Sarai's spelled with just one eye, isn't it?
No, Sarai's two eyes, just like that. He is stupid.
Okay.
So it says Rye. You said Rye, and he's just like, wait, Sarai?
Well, yeah, like that, but without the "s."
Huh.
And he's gonna scratch his head and say, "What's that mean?"
I don't speak. Rye's an old tongue
Yeah.
phrase? Yeah, I don't speak old tongue.
And he's going to pick it up and say, "Half person." Looking it over.
Actually, now that I've mentioned it, would I know what that means? Because that's not an uncommon.
History.
Here we go, baby.
There's Sarai,
I have-
Sarai.
Right. I have no mods in history. This is gonna go great.
Believe.
Fantastic.
Rye.
Not bad.
Rye denotes sentience. So all the Ryes come from some basically where this thing came from. So Sarai is Walker of the Fire, Dorai Walker of the Seed, Terai, Walker of Fictier. The Rye itself often refers to a soul, or just the soul.
Your choice whether to tell this.
Yeah, he picked it up and he rolled the same check and was just like, "I've got no idea. It's got half a Sarai, half person."
It's like it usually relates to the soul. We slap that word next. Rye's. You say Rye next to Sarai, Terai, Dorai, Milsarai.
He is going to drop this thing, and it's going to make a clunk on the table, and you're going to see him shaking his hand like he just sticked it in poop or something, and say, "Oh," and he's going to say, "I'll take it to Millen of the town cleric as soon as I can." He looks at Urkus and nods and says, "Thank you."
What'd y'all do with the one that she brought?
He is he's going to shake his head and say, "You don't want to know."
No, I'm curious.
I would like to ask him, what happened to the people that attacked you? They just up and leave?
He is going to nod and say, they dug up the body, had her pick it up and left, headed to gosh, what is that other town? Indian woods.
They dug up a body?
Or the stone.
Yeah, he nods and says, the one that collapsed, we gave her a proper burial.
Body, that's weird.
Headed north, we already sent outriders towards the town when we were attacked. If the town knew it was good for them, they're not well defended like us. They're just a trading hub for and he's gonna look down and say just the scoundrels that border the Darius desert, but and he shakes his head and says, no, Sarai, no matter how low, I don't wish the terrors of Terai on their soul. If they knew it was good for them, hopefully the town evacuated and fled before they got there.
Alright. Is it okay for me to leave?
He is going to nod and say, and I'll and he's thrown a cloth over the stone. And
before he does that, Brandon, can I just look at it and try to memorize it?
Yes, you can.
Okay. But I need to roll anything for that?
No, you don't. You
okay,
can roll
good.
a intelligence check if you'd like. To just like burn it into your memory of just like if you want to like you remember what I've described of it, but like if you want to just like draw this thing for somebody else, that would be an intelligence check of just like burning this thing like into your memory, every like absolute detail of it.
Come on.
No. Yeah.
Well, you already have the baseline knowledge. That's fine.
I mean, you see it there.
A lot of us have seen it.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
Roman, use your special eyes. No, main reason is for Olivia, because we are now giving... No, Olivia. Wait.
Dila.
I can't... Dila, oh my god. So, the one that has the normal name is the one I remember. Just so, because Dila was going to take the rock to study. But
yes.
Giving up the rock, I'm fine with giving up the rock as long as you remember what the rune looks like.
They're confiscating it. We can maybe we can convince them to let us take it with us.
Dila would need to come into town.
Funny that you guys should say that. As your meeting is concluding, somebody is going to bust into this room. One of the haggard guards who weathered the attack, and he's gonna say, Doas, there's Agram guards spotted south of the city. He's going to nod and say, all right, ring the bell. What citizens are left? Let's get them into the encampment.
Is it
Okay.
how many?
Yeah, I was gonna say how many, because if it's just one person, maybe two.
They might
That
be with
might-
us.
Might be with us, because we didn't want to scare you guys, because we kind of nabbed an Agram guard's clothes.
Alright, so like, as you say that whole statement, the captain, who has been calm at this point, like, his whole face is like bubbling into the rage of like, they're with us, and he's, about to bust out like, you brought the egg! And you're just like, we nabbed an Agram guard's clothes. And he is going to deflate and say, that is things I need to know at the city gate.
Yeah,
and
we
he's-
didn't want to scare you. We were just gonna throw that out, honestly. But that's kind of the main reason we came into town. We didn't want to freak anyone out, like what was just about to happen. Because, we know you guys don't get along with those guys, and...
In fact, we were
Yeah.
gonna try and get that person to change of clothes.
We understand the political climate, basically.
He
Roaming around the wilds with that is fine. We could probably even trick an Aggrim guard, but yeah.
Yeah, he is going to nod to the person who busted in the room and say, don't ring the bells, don't cause a panic. Just get her in here as privately as you can.
Maybe get her a cloak or something to hide her clothes so no one can see what she's wearing. Maybe not cause a scare.
He looks around and says, trust me, I have plenty of spare uniforms.
Oh. That'll help.
That's morbid.
It is very
Yeah. That's... yeah.
Actually, he's going to say, I don't have the men to spare. And he's going to walk outside of his office, presuming you guys follow. And he's going to walk up to a shelf, grab, a Heimdall officer's uniform and throw it towards you guys. And say, get your friend dressed appropriately and get her inside the city walls. This region's not safe. The Aggrim Guard only spread death and fear.
Will do. So...
Can someone swing past me? I'd like to use my disguise kit for to help cover up the ears and the teeth.
Yeah, you and I can go with them, like to greet them, to get them so when they change. Yeah.
All right, you guys gain a Heimdall. You guys haven't changed clothes because the Goliaths didn't have anything for you, so all of you guys look like fresh traveled hell.
I
need
think
a bath.
Well,
Maybe a shave.
I told the man we ended up in a cave. We've been traveling to find a friend's mom.
And all of this is going to hit him now. As he offers one uniform, he's going to offer Tristan, Alo, Roman, and Urkus a second, or everybody else a Heimdall uniform too.
You have like a washboard.
Hey, before we leave this guy, I want to say to him that his guard
is cutting in and out. What's going on right now?
He is giving the party clothes because they look like hobos.
Yeah, as he's doing
like
this,
crap.
I want to say to him that his guards confiscated some vials from a friend of mine, and that the friend needs those to defend himself, basically. And we would be much obliged if he were to return those to us.
If they could just return them to us when we leave, that might be better.
That too, but if we do need them, it would be good to have.
Yeah, he was the one who confiscated them. Roll a persuasion check.
Roll what?
A persuasion check? He knows magic when he sees it.
With my extra part added to that part, like if you can give it to us when you leave, that'll work out. Help him.
Okay. You do not have an advantage on the check, but you can roll the persuasion.
If I were to use a portent ability, would that be a magic thing? Would he tell that, or how does that work exactly? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna hide the cards.
Yeah, I don't
Come
believe
on,
your
get my vials
portent is something that you just, or that's overtly obvious. Because I think the basis of it is, you simply scrying into the future.
Yeah, it's a weird ability.
Yeah. Let's see. Knowledge domain.
It's a divination wizard.
Oh, okay. Oh, divination wizard. Yeah. Okay. I for some reason I was thinking that was a knowledge cleric ability.
Is 116?
I'm just seeing if it says you have to use any type of action for it. Press your awareness.
Because I have no persuasion.
Yeah, you can use it. He wouldn't notice that at all.
I want to make my roll an 18. I'm gonna use my 18 up.
Alrighty. He's as you say that, he's going to grimace at you and say, "You'll get your potions back when you leave the city."
Alright, thank you, sir.
That works.
I'm happy with that.
You owe me one.
Well, I wasn't gonna leave without them. I would massacre the entire village with the
Over 150 gold?
With no poison.
No, I got plenty of other vials. Don't worry.
Alright. So, you guys can go dress Dila up. Dila had a time limit I rolled for her of just when she decided to start walking towards the city. Of just like, how hard is it to buy? You know what? I'll do it. And,
Damn it, Dila.
you are going to get to you're gonna get to the gate where she's being held in the north part of directions, east part of town, and you can give her the clothes. You guys explain the situations to the guards, and they permit her to head into one of the campsite cabins and change.
I'm just going to go on the record that this nearly a millennium old woman has no patience at all.
None.
I mean, yeah. She's been through stuff, She doesn't have time for the tiny things. But
Just when you have all the time in the world doesn't mean you wait for it.
well, I mean, if you guys are talking to her outside the cabin, while she's changing, she's gonna scream back to you, I've been stuck in a hole for 2 months. I'm ready to get back to helping the world.
That is 1/1,000,000th of your life. That is a second to our normal lifespan.
I gotta agree with her though.
Mhm.
I was locked in a closet for 6 hours when kidnapped by assassins.
Yeah.
6 hours is the same equivalent for my lifespan. It sucks.
Anyways, Dila is able to change in the cabin. Anybody else can also change in the cabin. You guys go from looking like one faction to another.
Yay. We keep our clothes so we can wash them. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
I'll
interchangeable.
buy some clothes to fit in.
Okay.
I also need a bath.
We might also just buy clothes for Dila too, just so we're not walking around in this uniform and we end up somewhere else.
Right? What if we have to go to the Darkened Vale? We're gonna be in this situation all over again.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, if you guys step
Actually,
around...
I want to leverage the shopkeeper that I just handed a pile of cash to and say, we've been traveling a long time. We would like some fresh clothes.
I mean, you paid him for a key, and he got you a key.
I also handed him a pile of cash before really knowing the price. I am paying for your service.
Oh man, you went to the Brock Brooks School of negotiating.
You are working for me for the next several hours. The key was just the first step of it.
Yeah, but 10 gold is, 10 gold's enough for him to laugh in your face, not enough to buy clothes. Just to, save you, time, common clothes on the, player's handbook is 5 gold. Or no, I'm sorry, common clothes is 5 silver. But with your in-stay for, 8 people for 5 silver, you've already, paid him above and beyond. You essentially paid, 7 gold for a key.
Yeah, so I would like some clothes for me and my companions.
Does Admir tell him the key that he bought?
He hasn't asked for it yet, so he's just kind of still holding on to it.
I think he paid to protect him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your 10 gold is not going to be enough to get you more than 1 set of clothes. And that's a push.
Alright, I'll ask bluntly. What do I need to pay to have us taken care of? I want some food, I want some clothes.
5 gold per person will outfit them with food and clothes. Travelers close specifically for the desert.
Alright, party. Don't say I never did anything for anyone. Alright, 5 gold per person, so that's 40.
Eric, I love you, and I want to headbutt you.
This town is a ripoff, Jesus.
You all owe me.
Yeah, 40 gold.
Alright.
That gets everybody. That gets everybody food for the day and travelers' clothes.
Are me and Drelo still just kind of like standing or sitting there by ourselves?
This
Everyone's
place
joined
is.
us, right?
Say it again.
Everyone's joined us, right? Because this is a small place. Like it's hard to not see each other go
Yeah,
around.
this is a like if you stand in the town square, you can see from one side of the road, one part of the city gate to the other part of the city gate, the entire town. The only thing that prevents your vision of the party is, you know, the small military buildings in between you and them. But as soon as they step onto the main thoroughfare, you know, if you're eating in the outside area, because there is like this courtyard between the bells and the town square. Let's see, of the general shop that, you know, you could be like dining in. But yeah, if you are just out there sharing stories with Admir, you'd see the party as soon as they step onto the thoroughfare, and they are dressed like Heimsdale military soldiers.
While we were in there dressing, I'm assuming the guards sort of let us be while we changed, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're...
Okay.
We no longer have supervision.
Yeah, these cabins are just, like, dorms for soldiers that get stationed here. There's nothing important in them except a cot.
Okay, wasn't someone going to help Effie hide, like, her features?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
me
we
with
Drolos,
the
we don't
kit.
have with
Good.
us.
Oh, okay, Draelos is not with us, so, we'll just say Effie's taking her time. Maybe, I don't know what
Oh, are you saying this in character?
Yeah, since the guards have left us alone.
Yeah.
I'm
Dila,
just letting...
yeah,
Effie
Dila's
and
going
Dila
to
know.
let you know. Oh, Effie already snuck into the city. That's why I came. And, like, you know...
Both of you.
She's going to brush her hand forward and say, this is what she does. She investigates things in the shadows, and she's good at not being seen.
Okay. Alright. That was my whole plan out, but we should hopefully meet up with her and have Draelos. Maybe give her a touch up. Just,
I love that idea.
like
Even
when we
if
meet up,
she's healthy,
Yeah,
we
we
don't
meet
want
up.
any terror.
when we
That's
meet up
right.
with her, I'm telling her, like when we meet up with her, like, you know, see if Draelos can help her get a little touch up, and we might want to get some clothes. I say, not knowing that Draelos has bought clothes for us.
I need a bath.
That too.
I smell like sadness and dirt.
I smell like guilt. Dirt.
I'll let Jalos know that the guard agrees to return his little vials when we leave.
Yeah, and let him know. I mean, we're
And I'll let you guys know that I've taken care of everything and everyone owes me one. So
Yes. So I'm assuming after we tell her that we're all stepping out, and Draelos sees us with
Yeah.
snazzy new uniforms.
How's it comes from the craftsman side of town too? And you know, seeing like the whole party on the thoroughfare. He has various necklaces around him. He got some kayak charms, and as he steps back to the party and says, "This place is great."
sounds like a tourist.
Gonna give him a look like, man.
Yeah, but the party is back together. Dila's going to ask you guys, so what did you find out?
I would like to introduce you to Admir. He is someone who I think might have a common goal, potentially. Should I'd like to introduce him formally and say, what does the party think about him participating in saving our comrade, being incredibly vague?
Brandon,
Yes.
should I roll an insight on her?
No. You would recognize Dila. You specifically, even though you never talked to her, you saw her a lot in your introduction to war magic classes.
All right, so Admir is sitting outside eating, kind of hunched over, looks up at the party, sees Dila, spits out his food, falls backwards onto the ground, and just starts like laughing.
Is he alright?
Drellis, did
say
you
it.
find an adult person? Because we have enough of those.
Well, we need a new split personality since we no longer have Hippolyry.
Well, hold
Sorry,
up.
too
She
soon,
just
too
can
soon.
see the. First of all, to the bridge with you.
Second off, I
Second
haven't
of
mentioned
all,
that yet.
We have Hausick, so I already have one adult magic user.
Yeah. Well, this is a crazy looking dude. I miss having crazy people.
Lady
Met us?
Admir is just still on the ground on his back, and he just gets up and looks at her. Lady Dila, I've been looking for you. You have to help me.
What?
She is going to place a hand on your shoulder. Very like empathetically, like look at you and say, all problems in due time. And she's gonna look down and say, but unfortunately I'm here helping someone else first.
This is the reason I left. This is the reason I came out here. I was
came
heading.
for Dila?
The only place I had left to look was the Dark Vale. So I had no idea where you were.
She's going to roll an insight check. You're gonna see the cogs in her mind circling, and then she's gonna say, so you were in this town for some time?
Couple days.
And she's gonna say, can you describe what happened?
Yeah. I was here with two companions I had hired to take me to the border. And just out of nowhere, explosions and screaming started. My companions told me to stay here at the end where it was safe. And they ran off and never came back. I heard later on that they were killed in the fight.
What did you
insight.
say, Derek? Yes, you can.
I roll insight on this guy to see if he's being forthcoming with things. Besides
From what you can tell, I mean, the people of this town seem pretty shaken by this attack. Seems to be body language, everything seems to be aligning to be telling the truth.
Oh no, guys. Olivia was just here, and now somebody wants to tag along. It seems a little suspicious to me.
But everything's okay now. You can help me, Lady Dila.
She is, it's still inspecting, you intensely, and, she's going to, your, pseudo-dragon's on your shoulder, right?
Yeah. After I got up off the ground, he jumped back up.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna look at it. You're gonna see her just kind of like mumbling to her self. And Roman's gonna be the only one who's going to be able to hear her through this. And she says, "Pack magic, probably the chain, familiar, made a deal." She looks you up and down and says, "When I'm able to, I can take you back to the university, but there's nothing I can do for you right now."
Everyone's gonna notice a complete shift in body posture and language with him. Oh, don't mind him. He's just shaken up about the whole thing.
What?
Roman's gonna stand up and just be like, "Nope, I'm done. I'm gonna get my bath."
That's a hard no for me.
I'm
Somebody
okay
needs
with a
to
little
tell
crazy.
him, her, whatever, that the thing. So that person, hey buddy, the thing that happened yesterday, that's the problem she needs to solve. Okay, Roman out. Peace.
Well, we're willing to help. It's just he's going through a lot right now. Hi, I'm Taryn, by the way.
She is like perplexed with intrigue, and say, "Hi, Taryn, and where do you come from?"
His head. Excuse me a moment. She grabs the hat and changes form.
And she is going to ask, and do you know anything about... And she points to the pseudo-dragon on your shoulder.
Oh, that. What happened was, when I came to be, Admir started losing bits of his self. So he tried different methods to, well, fix it. And made a deal with someone that, promised him, and well, I'm still here and he's still him.
She raises an eyebrow at someone.
Forgotten, I believe he told us his name was.
Dila is going to tilt her head and say, "You are just a twisted, contorted individual, aren't you?" And she's going to place a hand on your shoulder and say, "But we can get you straightened out. You shouldn't make deals with Forgotten. It's not a being that craves the best for life."
Yeah, we figured that out afterwards, but it's okay. She's smiling the whole time. Well, yeah.
Dila is going to say, "Well, how about you stay at this inn, and when we're ready to go back to the university, we'll come back for you."
But it's boring here. I want to see the world still.
She looks at the party and looks back at Taryn, and that look of just how much she wants to help is like settling across her face. This would be the same point where Effie pulls her away. But without Effie here, she's going to look back to you and say, "I'll do what I can."
Thank you. And then she runs over to Dralos. Mr. Dralos.
Yes. Hi,
She pulls
person.
out- She pulls out the key. We promised you this for your help.
You can hold on for right now. I just want your loyalty.
Believe it or not, he is actually a very capable magic user. Just slightly tilted.
Just remember that I'm on your side here, and next time I need a little help, just be on my side.
Oh, absolutely.
That sounds good to me.
There's something I need to look at. All right. So Dila is going to look back to the party and say, look to Tara and say, we're looking for a young girl by the name of Jessica. Did you happen to see her when she came through town?
Oh wait, no. I thought I told her like what the guard told me, where they went.
Oh, I did not remember, or I don't know if I heard that.
Sorry.
Did you just relay that information exactly?
I told her that I talked. Well, yeah. It was along with the whole Effie thing and what happened to the runestone. I pretty much told her what I could because the guards weren't there, like over here.
All right.
But if you just want to like,
no, that's fine. She is going to go on and say, because there's a piece of information she needed there, and she's going to go on and state the woman that brought the stone into town. Do you know where she was buried the day before?
Talking to me.
Yes.
Would I know that?
Yes. She brought it to the inn while you, Kalon and Devin were staying there. Or brought it to the tavern.
So she actually buried it at the tavern.
Yes. And
Yeah,
then
she
she
buried
fainted in front of it, and it was like quite a scene.
Oh yeah, she buried it right over there. Points to the ground where it was.
And she's gonna say, "Did you see the woman?"
In passing, I guess. It was kind of got crowded very quickly. You know, someone just straight up dying on the ground like that.
She nods and says, "Can you take me to where she was buried?"
Sure. Out of character, I have no idea where that is, but I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Surprisingly, that's the same place all the other people at from the vigil are going to be buried at. There are a set of there's a large graveyard actually being dug for bodies to the north of town. Hers would be one of the closer ones. I'm sorry, I'm looking up something in my notes right now. There we go. Yeah. All right. Hers would have been one of the closer ones, and as she is walking, Dila is going to be talking to Taryn and say long ago my people called Forgotten Duzima. It's not a name I know if she cares for anymore.
She doesn't really talk to us much anymore. She made a promise and then said something else that I don't remember, and then just silence.
She nods and says, "Well, there's strength in a name in breaking a pack, or making one."
The pact itself isn't so bad. We got top out of it. As she pets the dragon.
She shrugs. So she's going to inspect this graveyard that she, or rather the tomb that she brought you guys to. She rolls an investigation check on it, and she's going to look to the party and say, after she gets done sorting through it, and say, I think you guys should stay here in case she comes back.
Dila, stop trying to run off. The point where I joined this group was a party forged to bring you back. I'm not going to let you leave my sight.
Dila is going to exhale and say, Olivia's still in the town.
She's still in the town. Why didn't you tell us?
She's going to look around and say, I thought I just did.
Classic deal.
Is there anything else that you're not telling us? Is Jessica here? Is there any threat to our well-being right now?
She is going to shake her head and say, I don't know. She's going to think for a moment and say, she sent me a sending. She wants to meet.
Is this a friend of
That
yours?
would have been good to know. Thanks for telling us, Dila.
Are we meeting a friend of yours?
By friend, you mean mortal enemy? Yes.
Oh.
And by mortal, I mean also immortal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dila is going to look towards you guys and say, if she wants to meet on passive terms, I'm willing to oblige her.
I'm not letting you go alone. If you want to meet, I would like to be in the shadows.
She inhales and says, and looks at everybody and says, if this comes to blows, no, we could have avoided it.
I'm willing to give peace a chance, but with caution.
I picked the worst time to take a bath.
Oh, is Roman not there? Is he bathing back at the inn?
Yeah.
Same.
After the avalanche of crazy, I was like, no.
I felt like I needed just bathe too. This is too much. I'm hungry.
That's basically when the events of the last 5 days just finally hit. Like, no.
All right.
Too much emotion. I gotta.
So it's it's just Alo Alo, Admir, and Dila at this point. Or not.
And Drelo.
Yeah, and Drelos. Is Alo there?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, she is gonna point down to the body and say she said she'd be waiting. She said she'd be waiting at the girl's corpse.
What does that mean? Bluntly.
That she'd be waiting at the girl's corpse. She points to this one and says, I don't know her name, but whoever it was that saved me.
Can I do like a perception check to see if like freaking Olivia is sitting around the corner looking at us? Like,
Yes, you can.
Insight. Why do I suck so much? I got 2 nat 20s earlier. Now I suck.
It would be a perception, but that's fine. Because
I'd be much happier with the perception. I actually have stuff in perception.
well, it's not going to make a difference on a 3 for your roll.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, looking around, like there are a couple people out here helping to dig graves, and there are like piles of elongated boxes that are probably, you can assume, filled with bodies. The stack is probably about 6 rows of 8 high.
That's a lot. All right.
Yeah. Oh, she is going to she's going to walk back into town and say, we need to find that girl of yours, and that will lead us to her.
Well, if you don't feel comfortable with everyone standing there with you, she holds her hand out and Tapa jumps onto it. You can take Tapa with you, and I can see and hear everything that he sees and hears.
She shakes her head and says, parlor tricks won't work in front of Olivia.
Regardless of parlor tricks or politics, I plan on keeping an eye on you. If we approach something that looks like Olivia might be within sight, please tell me so that I can slip into the shadows.
All right. So, are you and Dila going to spend the evening investigating?
I'm following Dila. I'm not letting her out of my sight. For whatever reason, I think she's trying to skip town and figure out her own side mission.
All right. So the whole afternoon goes on, and if NPCs are not going to solve the story just like trying her darndest. She does not have all the pieces of the puzzle that she needs to put this together. And she is not going to be able to find this person she's looking for, and it's nightfall is going to hit before she finally turns into the town, turning this place upside down, and going back to the tavern, rendezvousing with the party. She is going to look at Drelos and say, I'd rather have you not say anything to the party. Or to your companions. This is not something they need to concern themselves with. The sooner we find this girl, the sooner we can teleport out of here.
As we're walking around, I'll ask her, what girl is she talking about?
The corpse that was grabbed.
The corpse that was buried and got up out of
Are we
town?
all together again?
Almost.
Yeah, you guys see this tavern's not very big. There are places to wash yourself out back, like with buckets, but for the most part, it's just a bunkhouse for travelers.
I was gonna ask her before we got back.
She already told you, and she says the girl who saved me.
Did I zone out? I don't remember. Which girl are you talking about?
Oh shit!
That's
It's a Pellery.
That's why I was like, are we together? Because, like...
Yeah,
I feel like I'd be watching, like, a Three Stooges routine, and Urkus and I are like, what are you guys talking about? It's a Pellery. What did we miss?
Dila is going to look to you guys and say, nothing. It turns out they were using that girl's corpse.
I'm gonna viciously punch the table.
Does he break the table?
Yeah, you can roll me an attack roll at that table. It has 12 HP.
I can.
I want that shit to explode. Please.
I want
use
a nat
3
one so
punches.
he breaks his hand.
Yeah, you miss, or rather, yeah, you don't hit it in a way that damages it.
I can't.
1, but
I have to crit this table if I want to kill it. So
I mean, you can bloody this table, splintering wood and cracking pieces of it. But yeah, just fist to this table. You can roll damage against it if you actually want to.
Bam! Max damage. Fuck this table.
Yeah.
God, I hate
it's gonna ring out over this tavern, and Dila, of course, is gonna jump back and say, "Well, whatever it is, we'll find them when we go to the next town."
My blood is boiling, and I am ready to. I want to tell the party. Let's make minimal preparations. Let's move as quick as possible. And aside to Tristan and say, "Can you check on the status of where Olivia and or Jessica is?"
Seeing, especially after Roman just punched the table, everyone's getting hot-tempered. Taryn is gonna raise her hand, or look up and raise her hand up and cast Dancing Lights.
And it is, this is like 8-9 o'clock in the evening. By the time this is like all going on, of like Dila fruitlessly searching around town with the littlest amount of information to go on. Like, she saw Hapelri for 20 seconds before she died, and that was it.
I picked the worst time to have a pet.
Yeah. And sending, you can only communicate so much information. But anyways, so as this is happening, there's going to be another 2 visitors that step into the tavern. And you guys are going to hear Donoran, greet this person the same as he's been greeting everybody, and says, "Welcome to the stepping
That's
into the restaurant portion of this place. It's everybody's favorite person.
Rachia?
Yes.
Andis?
That's a solid guess for, like, actual person I hate, though.
Andis would be a
Is it
scary
Seth
motherfucker to show up out of
finally
the blue.
coming his comeuppance for stabbing me in that back alley fight.
Or maybe Jin Prius Mari Alderai? Oh, motherfucker!
Oh,
Oh my god!
oh no!
I already
Oh!
put the over this. I will.
Oh, good.
Stepping into
Murder.
the inn. I mean, I'm assuming everybody starts running forward. Livia holds up her hand, and
I mean, I was tempted to kill the table, but
yeah, holds up her hand like, just pause. She looks at Dila and says, "Did you not get my sending?" Dila said, "Try next time putting more information together." Are sending more information. She says, in response, "I thought you were smarter than that." Dila looks away, and Olivia is going to say, "My master wants her," pointing to Dila.
you have a master? You seem the strong, independent type.
That's probably the scariest thing I've ever heard.
And she is going to look to you guys and says, "Yes, but I don't always do as I'm told." She smile grows across her face and says, "I've become rather enamored with the small girl you brought me. I've taken it as a hobby of mine, slowly turning her. For that, I put my responsibilities as something I'll get around to. Until then, I've come with a peace offering." She gestures to Hipelri and says, "Right now, she's nothing more than a husk, a raised undead. But I have methods and things that I've learned over centuries past. I could raise her as a Terai for you."
Pass.
She nods.
I don't see that
and
as such a bad thing.
says she could live out the rest of her days in blissful happiness in the Vale with my sister. I don't care what you do with her. She waves her hand, and whatever force is animating Hipelri fades, and once again she collapses in front of you guys. And says, "I leave, my newest Deathbringer informed me of how much she meant to you guys. I leave her body with you, and in turn, she looks at Dila. I will also delay my master's orders, and you leave me to it with my new apprentice."
In a super anime-esque style, I want to shout, "Where's Jessica?"
I'm surprised Tristan didn't do that.
Right, if he were here, see, this is why he thinks we're shitbags.
He doesn't see us actually caring.
She's going to look at you guys and, just tilt her head and say, "Young Veda is not ready." Oh my god, I cracked myself up. Wow. That's so accidental. But anyway, she's going to say young Veda is not...
Vader.
Yeah, that's not intentional. I had no idea just like it was going to be, turned to the dark side.
Storyline.
Yeah. But anyways, it's fitting. Just like a Veda the Redeemed. She's going to say, young Veda is not ready to face you all yet. Her resolve is fragile. I'd rather have her wait to speak to you until I know she's more committed.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get it. You don't want her to help us kick your ass.
If there's any sit down between you and Dila, we need to see Jessica.
She's going to look at Dralos, put a hand out, and say, "Who are you again?"
That's unimportant.
Who's the lady with the person who buried the stone?
Olivia the Lost, Ancient Shatterer, decent looker.
Or loser.
Bitch.
No, he's talking about her color.
Say it again?
No, I recognize the
Olivia
Calvary
buried the
as the
stone,
person
right?
who buried the stone. I was asking basically who Olivia was.
Yeah.
Yeah, still sore loser.
Bad guy?
Bad guy.
She is going to say, or a counter offer. I can raise, she gestures to Hapelri. I can raise her as a Terai, pull her life force back from the ether into this husk of a body, and torture her too, in front of you.
Breaking the table!
Oh, so you are a sore loser. Get it?
Table's dead. If it has 12 health, it's dead.
You tried the table from there, brought it in here just to smash it.
Wait, I thought she walked in. Like, we haven't
She
actually...
walked
Yeah,
in.
she's in.
Oh, okay,
So I'm still
okay.
at this table.
All right.
And this table's dead now.
She is going to...
Man, fuck furniture.
She's going to, she's gonna, just like at Roman just decimating this table, because it is, definitely splintered right now. She's going to, like, just look at you and, look to, Winrona making eye contact and say, your warlock has my sending stone. You have a day. Otherwise, I will do what my master commands of me, and I will not shed a single tear for you. She looks at the party, bending down and grabbing Hapelri's, the corpse of Hapelri, grabbing her face, and her whole palm cusping the side of Hapelri's face. You guys can see this green light emit from her hand, between her hand and Hapelri's skin. When she moves her hand, there is a large rune on the side of Hapelri's face. Olivia nods to Dila and turns and begins walking out. And she says, one day and then I'm calling them. And we will take you one way or another.
Is she all the way out of the inn at this point?
Yeah, she leaves. As she leaves, Dila is going to run to the store owner and roll a heal check on him. He is alive. He is affected by magical sickness.
Oh,
And
good.
she'll have to
That's what
have
she's
her
great at.
daughter cure it later.
Or Tristan.
Yeah.
There's
Annie?
Oh yeah, Tristan again.
there's a dead woman with a rune on her face.
Yeah, I kind of said that, like,
not
what?
trust the runes.
Taryn's gonna walk up to the rune and look at it.
If she turns her into a Terrai, I'm gonna leave that to Roman. Time for you to have guilt.
Hapelri
Birds
wakes
and
up
the
again and
bees and
Roman's just like, go to
vampires.
sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
See, I am a magic user. I can't sleep with my hands.
Brandon.
We'll pick up there next session.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Fantastic.
a beautiful place to end.
Actually, right before it ends, because my character would do this, I am going to grab something.
You know what? I don't even care. I broke the table today, so...
Alright. I will... you can get a second, and put these in your inventory as Construct Arm.
Alright.
You have 2 Construct Arms.
We gotta build ourselves a mechs.
That's right. Yeah.
Woo!
Turn into a space.
Gundam time!
Alright.
Fighter.
I am going to give you guys, I'm going to give you guys a flat 800 for tonight.
Man, we didn't do anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, the story moved forward, not because of you guys, because of you guys failing, and Olivia literally just, like, sitting looking at the clock and just like, where the flip is she?
Worst time
That's
to
all
take a
Dealer's
bath
fault.
ever.
It's not Dealer's fault. Leave us out of everything. Roman and I were both taking showers and bathing with her, relaxing, like, oh yeah, this is good. we were nice and refreshed. Then Olivia shows up, hey, I got this corpse with your friend.
Well, I'm
Also
dirty
gonna
all
keep your
over
other
again.
Yeah, flat 800 for tonight, and your guys' next session is on the 7th. Tristan is going to be the final one getting out of the bath, walking in, towel around his waist and everything, like, what'd I miss?
No, it should be Housick, but...
By the way,
Housick has a sending stone, Olivia just told you guys, that goes to her.
well, we kind of knew that. We just
Why?
didn't bring it up because Jordan refuses to be in attendance.
Wait, no, I lied. Housick doesn't have the sending stone. Housick has a sending stone that goes to Lyra. I want this on the session, for the last thing, so, everybody watching knows. Dralos has the sending stone that goes to... Or no, I think Alo. Alo has it.
I thought
As a warlock,
possibly.
how many warlocks are there in the party right now?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm about to retcon right now, because, let's see... Alo has the sending stone that goes
Oh,
to
I
her.
sure do. Yes, I do.
Yes. You picked it up, when you were in her lair. Oh... She had one on a shelf, and the other one was on her bedside, and, nobody grabbed the one from her bedside.
I could have sworn Jose picked it up. Maybe I got it from him. Maybe I grabbed it. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
I know, Jordan has one for Housick that Lyra gave him. By the way, you guys have a way to contact Lyra.
I know. It's just I hate that woman. So
I mean, Lyra could be here with an army in a month.
within like a week,
Yeah.
and she just burned the place to the ground. The woman has no. She's not in on the Save Jessica plan, in so much that her definition of saving Jessica is to kill her.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 800 experience for tonight. Your next session on the 7th, and we're gonna go to an end card and then in there for the night. But yeah, for Lyra, are Lyra coming with you guys? She would consider the victory like getting Hapelri's body back and just like